choosy little pooch. Hey, is there rabbits out there maybe? Maybe some rabbits or something? Could be. I've been wanting to make a little video talking about the issue of micro scrapping. Like in my street scrapping video, I'll link it down in the description. I kind of got off tangent and started talking about micro scrapping. You know, like some things are just a waste of time. Or I don't compare that to just, you know, sitting around doing nothing else. I compare it a waste of time as opposed to doing something else that's constructive and more profitable. You know, if people do stuff for a hobby and for fun or enjoyment or some kind of, oh, there's a rabbit right there. No, you're not getting off. You're not getting off. No, no, there he goes. I know, you a rabbit dog. Whoa, Westerly rabbits. But doing it for, you know, therapeutic reasons, for fun, for hobby, that's, you know, it sounded like I was saying don't do that, but the point I was really trying to say was there's videos on YouTube that confuse those two issues. Like, you know, there's videos that'll say you can make money, big profits doing this and that, and that's not true. That's the ones I have a problem with, is when it gets confused. Doing stuff for fun and for a hobby, you know, you can't represent that as a way for other people to make money if they need to make money. You know what I'm saying? That's where the problem is. Not that you like to do things for fun or your pet project or therapeutic reasons, or just, you know, to chill out or what, you know, who cares, you know, what you want to do. That's great, you know. But the point I was trying to make is when that stuff is represented to thousands, hundreds of thousands of other people as a viable way for them to pay their rent next month, you know. So with that being said, I don't know if I explained it too well, but let's have a look at a couple of videos that I consider to be terrible videos. And it's not because of the person or that they're doing something intentionally to mislead you. It's just the fact that they're misleading. First off, let's start with the very video of my own that I talked about, where I got off on this micro scrapping tangent to begin with. See this big silver plated 8 or 9 pound piece of brass that I claimed? Well, I've overstated things by a few pounds, couple pounds, a pound, you know, here and there, so many times on video that I was reluctant to say what I felt like this thing really weighed. And it was actually 12 pounds. And actually, it's not brass. Turned out to be silver-plated copper. So, scrap value alone, copper, 12 pounds. You know, you're looking at, shoot, 28 bucks or so, give or take, on your prices. So let's just start off there. I personally make mistakes every single day, and I'm not being a nitpicker. Here's another one of my videos. This is my second most viewed video I have on my channel. And see this right here, this bag? That's worth up to $400, maybe a little less, but it's in that ballpark. It's a luxury item. I didn't know what I was doing. I put it on the curb. Okay, so mistakes in this field happen all the time, and that's not what I'm talking about. Well, it is kind of what I'm talking about, but let's go to scrapping transformers. And I don't know if you're familiar with what authority videos are, but authority videos are on a niche subject where if someone's looking for it, authority videos are the videos that YouTube will put like smack right in front of your face. These are the ones you want to watch. And let's look at the top two here. Moose Scrapper, and he's a cool dude, and that's not a terrible video. But here's the point I'm gonna get to right here, the one below it. And I think this guy used to be called Jack Scrapper, and he changed his name. I could be wrong about that, but Moose fed off what Jack said, and You know, I'm not saying anything personal about anyone here. I'm just talking about mistakes. You see this, and this is an authority video on YouTube, and this is a worldwide massive thing. I mean, there's just no way around that fact. And it's got 275,000 views and counting. And, you know, in a couple of years, this might have 1 or 2 million views. You know, who knows how many views it might end up with over time, you know. And it says how to make $56 an hour smashing transformers. And you click on it, and, you know, and he's just got a really good personality. And it's just, this really is, you know, as far as entertaining video, it's just totally cool, you know. But there's a problem. He doesn't mention the fact that you can just sell these transformers that you see here. He's got, I'd say, probably 50 pounds, give or take, and you know, it's impossible to tell you the exact numbers. But he's got 5 transformers. They're probably 10 pounds a pop, give or take. Just say 50 pounds. And if you were to get 15 cents a pound for these transformers at your scrapyard, that'd be $7.50. And at 12 cents a pound, it'd be $6. And he doesn't mention that part at all in this $56 here. He's busting them apart at the end. One's actually looking like aluminum. He says it's copper, but I'm not going to get into that part. We'll just call it 3 pounds of copper he gets out of it, a pound of aluminum, and 46 pounds of steel. And you add all that up, and I really would just like to get rid of this calculator because we really don't need it. What it ends up to be is getting about, you know, you can mess with the numbers and plug in different numbers, you know, 12 cents a pound for motors, 15 cents a pound, or 10 cents a pound for motors, you know, 5 cents for steel, 6 cents for steel, $2 for copper a pound, you know, $2.25 a pound for copper. Yeah, you can tinkle with all the you can mess with all those numbers, but you're just not going to get too far away from the fact that each one of these transformers here that he busts open, he's earning maybe 46 cents to maybe 80 cents per transformer is all he's gaining. And you're looking at maybe, you know, depending on what the prices are and stuff, you know, about $9 to $15 an hour is what he's making in reality. And this is simply because he didn't tell you about the fact that you can sell these transformers as they are without doing any labor whatsoever. So, you know, if you were to actually sit here and do this for an hour straight, you know, you might run into one that's a little hard to do and blah, blah, blah. You know, you might get a little quicker at it with experience, but it's just, you're just not going to get too far away, too far above a minimum wage. And when I say minimum wage, I'm not talking bad about anyone out there making minimum wage. When I say minimum wage, it's a reference to anyone in the world where you don't have to convert currencies and blah, 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 blah. Everyone understands what minimum wage means. So, you know, it's just, you can make a little more with these kind of, doing that kind of stuff with those nice transformers right there. You know, look how big they are. But, you know, the difference between $56 an hour and making, you know, maybe you could even fiddle with the numbers to make it look like he's only making $6, $7, $8 an hour if you really wanted to, depending on your scrapyards, you know, what they're going to give you. But, you know, it's possible he's making up to $15 an hour in this video. And you can say, well, the copper prices might go up to $4 a pound. Well, the problem with that is when prices go up to $4 a pound for copper, the prices for transformers and motors, that also goes up to like 30 cents a pound. So the margin is very, very small when that happens. You just can't get too far away from what I'm saying here. And shoot, oh yeah, go back to Moose Scrapper here. And Moose Scrapper is a totally cool dude. And nothing I'm saying is personal against anyone. But he busts this thing open with a hammer, and he references Jack the Scrapper is where he learned this from. And I'm pretty sure Jack the Scrapper has changed his name. I'm pretty sure Moose was referencing the other authority video on the subject. And in this video, he busts this transformer. He's making maybe $8.28 an hour to maybe about $9.90 an hour. And there's nothing wrong with making that kind of money. I mean, it's just the fact that, there's some videos out there that can lead people to believe they can make $50, $60 an hour. And that's just not true. You just can't make that much money doing this. It's just not reality. No, you're going to make just touch above minimum wage if you work nonstop, pounding on steel with a hammer. So, I mean, that's just reality. And it's things like this, and it's videos like this where people come onto my channel, and they'll call me names and stuff because I don't want to pull brass plugs out of plugs. And hold the presses. I think I figured out why people are coming on my channel telling me to pull brass prongs out of plugs. At the end of this video, I was going to recommend some YouTubers for you to go get proper information from, and one that stuck out in my mind was Ben Houghton over there in the UK. And I started looking on his channel, and right here on his homepage, what do we have? Brass plugs. And would you look at the size of those marvelous beauties? That's not what we have in the United States. And I think I just figured out what the problem is with people telling me to pull prongs out of brass plugs. And that's it right there. We don't have those in the United States. Those are giants. Massive. When he drops it in the bucket, it's a clank. Those are weighty dudes. We don't have those here in the United States. The ones we have in the United States are just rinky-dink little goofy things. There's no comparison. So anyone listening that had a problem with me talking about plugs, that might have something to do with it right there. If you're in your European area and you're dealing with that kind of stuff, well, don't listen to me, because I've never dealt with that stuff. I'll just go ahead and recommend Ben's channel. You see it right here. He gives out good information. He seems to be concerned with proper info and telling people how it is. So you will go browse his channel. He's giving out good stuff. And I don't have time to watch all the scrapping channels on YouTube. So I haven't watched all his, and I haven't watched all of anyone's. I just don't have time. And so when I recommend people, that's just based on what I've seen. So just make your own decisions. And I'm someone that's slowed down with this kind of stuff, because and one of the benefits of me slowing down is I wake up in the morning and I don't have to, intentionally straighten out my finger, because it's not stuck down, from riding a motorcycle. And my knees don't hurt. I can walk properly because I've been doing this kind of stuff for so long. So take it from my perspective. And one of the reasons I came to YouTube was because you see this right here, these cell phones. You can't take a screwdriver and take cell phones apart like this and gaining it. It just takes way too long. It's just not something that you're ever going to do and make more than, just a minimum wage. And I'm not dogging a minimum wage, but it's just a reference point that everyone understands, because a lot of videos will say, big profits, $50 an hour, $60 an hour. And well, no, it's going to be closer to minimum wage. And it's just something that everybody understands what minimum wage is. And it's just reality. And like a lot of scrapping cell phones, you literally will make $0 an hour. You can just sell the whole cell phone. and not even put any labor into it at all, and make the exact same money you would make by selling the boards. See, and a huge problem is, like I look on eBay and I've seen, like, there's one seller on eBay that'll sell like 8 ounces of these gold boards here for over $60. And they'll sit there and say that, you know, gold refiners don't want you to know how much it's really worth and blah, blah, blah. And you got to do it the right way. And it's a total lie. And it's the same deal with like silver contacts out of circuit breakers and that kind of stuff. I've literally watched on eBay over the last month or so. I've been keeping an eye on that silver situation. And like, I'm watching silver contacts out of circuit breakers go for just a tick under what a silver buyer would give you for sterling silver, for 925 silver, and it's just not true. It's just whoever's buying that stuff for that amount of money is losing a massive amount of money. And if they're just looking to do it to have it and hoard it and as an investment, then they're just literally better off just buying real silver that they don't have to refine, just as an investment. And one of the very first times I discovered scrapping videos on YouTube was after I've been doing this for 8 years maybe. I found a bunch of phones that were taken apart and partially taken apart, 2 great big bags in a dumpster. And I inquired about them on the internet, directed to YouTube. And I watched a video talking about, how cell phones are a gold mine if you take them apart. And I sat here in my living room for about an hour taking them apart, and it just slowly kind of dawned on me that, no, wait a second, there's something seriously wrong here. All right, let's check out some silver refining. Here's a good video right here talking about scrapping silver from 100 grams scrap electrical contacts. And he took these from circuit breakers, thermostats, stove heaters, switches, etc. He's got 100 grams of them. And I just got done watching 690 grams on eBay sell for $244. And let's see what this guy gets from 100 grams, which is about 1/7 of what I just saw sell on eBay. So go down here, and where was it? They're talking about here. He says he got 18.32 grams of silver out of that 100 grams of silver contacts, and that is roughly $10, give or take, for 100 grams of silver contacts that you see right there. So the 690 grams I saw sell on eBay, we'll just call it 700 grams, make things easy, sold for $244. And this guy got $10 out of 100 grams. So 700 grams based on those numbers would be $70, $80 or so is what you'd get for 700 grams of that stuff. And someone paid $244 for it. So apparently, if you want to scam people on eBay, you can make quite a bit of money. But that's just, I don't know who or why someone's buying that. And call me goofy, but I'm kind of thinking that some of these other YouTube videos out here about silver mines and gold mines and big profits, and I'm kind of thinking those videos, those authority videos on YouTube, might be the exact reason why there's people on eBay buying silver contacts that aren't even silver. They're just an alloy for that much money. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I really don't have any other way of explaining it. But anyways, just I don't know. I'm kind of speechless, really.
It's really bad. It's really weird. And that's not the only listing on eBay that's like that neither. There it is. Here's one. This is the one I've been watching. I don't got time to mess with the other ones right now. I'm familiar with this one. But I mean, this is just one example, and a lot of them are like this. Like this here is a listing for 16 ounces of scrap silver contacts on copper bars. What you see is what you get. The contacts are silver alloy. No silver content is stated, and that's basically the same story with all these listings. And so you can see on the scale here, 16.8 ounces. So basically, what you've got there is about a pound of copper, and I mean, say you could get an ounce of silver. See, it's the round things on there that are the silver alloy, and the big rectangle bars are the copper. But let's say there's an ounce of silver that you could refine off of there, and that's being pretty generous. And there's a pound of copper, so the pound of copper would be 225. Say you got an ounce of silver that you took to a silver buyer that would give you $15, $14 today. So it's 16, $17, $18, and this listing is for $28 for $18 worth of metal. So just keep your eyes out, and if you're new to the subject, just don't do anything. Don't open your wallet for any of this junk that's on eBay, and until you know exactly what you're doing. Same kind of contacts and stuff. And we'll just go down here to the bottom. There's tons of people saying, "Oh, where can I buy this, and how do I buy that equipment, and how do I buy this, and how do I do that, and I want to buy this and do that, and oh, it's awesome." And I mean, there's some others saying, it's dangerous and stuff. I mean, it's not all great, but there's tons of people that just think it's wonderful. And let's see where we at here. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, then there's right here. Here's a comment that says, "Awesome. I've wanted to do this myself for years now. I've just held back because I really have little idea what to do. Obviously, you're a professional. I'll make it look easy. Have a few questions. Where did you get the toys? How much did all the gear cost, including acid and washes? Do you think I could teach myself how to do this? Awesome job. Blabbity blab blab." And then he replies, the guy who made the video, he says, "No, I'm not a trained professional. I read and read and read, bought the toys online, home science tools, and scrounged at a local dump. The nitric acid was pretty expensive. I got 50 pounds and a $200 deposit SS drum for 75 plus 175 shipping. The hydrochloric acid was $10 a gallon. If you want to collect all the scrap, don't worry about refining right away because the metal won't go anywhere, and you can always sell the scrap and make the easy money," which I do recommend you doing if you want to sell gold circuit boards. Send it off to professionals like boardsort.com or cashforcomputerparts.com, someone that knows exactly what they're doing and will do things properly. And okay, now I'll finish the rest of what he says. It says, read, and read some more. Learn about using acids safely, rubber gloves, eye protection, etc. This stuff can be deadly or will damage your lungs so badly you want to be dead. The heavy metals will cause cancer and or brain damage. Neutralizing the toxic acid, toxic waste, and safe disposal is necessary. So read, learn, and start real slow on a small project and learn safely. Now here's the most important part of what a very experienced person will say about refining this kind of metal. Right here, look at this. You will not get rich doing this. It's a hobby. Hope that kind of helped. So that's exactly what this gold and silver refining stuff is. It's just a hobby. You're never going to make any kind of money doing this unless you approach, industrial level stuff, like board sort right here. See this website, boardsort.com. This is what you got to do if you want to make money, and it's just bottom line. If you're out there and you catch wind of this refining metal stuff with deadly acid in your kitchen, and risking your friends' lives, and undoubtedly people have died from this that we haven't heard about. There's just no way around that fact, or been maimed. It's just common sense, and it's just unless you're gonna do it in an industrial scale, just don't even consider doing it. Unless you want to do it for a hobby. But if you do it for a hobby, you're literally risking your life and your pets and everyone around you. So I mean, it's a joke. It's embarrassing, to be honest with you. Some of the videos that are on YouTube that lead people to think different things, and it's just not, like, back to these Transformers. It's not those two top authority videos. Even the video below it claims $67 an hour, and it's just well, that might not be the one. I don't know. I don't really care at this point, but I think this is the one where it's filmed all at like 25 times speed and shows absolutely nothing besides fast forward. Let's see. I think this is it. Let's see. Yeah, see, what kind of video is this? It's just, I mean, no offense to the person that made it, but it's a total joke. It doesn't teach anybody anything. And if it's real, why would you do this like this? I mean, it makes no sense. No offense. And, I went down here, and there's more down here, and there's one person that literally has no idea what they're talking about, and the Transformers aluminum, and they're weighing it up as copper. And so, I'm not here to dog creators and videos. I'm here because I want to give my viewers good information. And to give you good information, I have to say that in many, many different fields across scrapping videos on YouTube, there is just some really, really bad stuff out there, and it's mainly results because anyone can make a video. Like this Jack the Scrapper, anyone that makes money off doing something like what he's saying he does, they just wouldn't make the mistake of not telling you that they're really only making $6 to $15, whatever it would be, an hour. And they just wouldn't say it's $56 an hour because it's nonsense. And there's a lot of nonsense out there. So anytime you hear about making big money and big profits and gold mines and silver mines and precious metal mines, and just look at it with a skeptical eye. Do whatever you want. Try, experiment with your own little scrapping projects and have fun. A lot of it's a hobby, and have fun and make up your own mind on your own, make up your own mind on these subjects. But this video is just telling you that anyone listening, just do not put your rent and your kid's roof and paying your bills and stuff. Don't ever put anything like that on the line when you watch YouTube videos. I mean, don't go out and buy $1,000 worth of metal refining gear, because as much stuff as I find, I don't find $1,000 worth of gold and silver in a year. It would take me a year just to pay for that kind of equipment. I'd be 2 or 3 years down the line before I even started making money. So that's that's the main reason why I'm making this video. Just be careful. Pay attention. Thumbprint is another channel that seems to want to give you good information about scrapping stuff down. He'll put the numbers on the screen and stuff sometimes. He doesn't do that every video, but when he does, he'll tell you how it is. 81. If you want to find out how to get a bunch of e-waste and metal and stuff, he's got a bin that he's got in town somewhere where he advertises, and people just drop it off and just lay it in his lap. That's pretty cool. He does other stuff too. He's got some contacts, but as far as his bin, that's unique stuff. And if you want to get into that and advertise that, that's a good way to do it. And E-Waste Ben, the man, the myth, the legend, he does kind of the same thing on a large scale. He advertises and he picks up large amounts of e-waste from people, businesses, schools, what have you. And he does it on a large scale. So check out his channel. And those last two, Uberism 81 and E-Waste Ben, they advertise to people to get rid of stuff. And if there's anyone out there that wants to get large amounts of stuff, that would be the way to go do it. And I'd like to thank you for watching and have a good day.